you should take time to understand the culture. It could be religious differences as well. When you work in a different country, remember you're a guest and respect how people live and how they think in this country, and don't try to change them because you won't be able to. The mix of different generations in a company is extremely important.
Welcome to the GORR podcast, where we help businesses of all sizes, small family-owned companies like ours to larger enterprises, to better understand the complexities of the global business. So we cover several topics. For example, we explore how to lead a team across diverse market or navigate international challenges, or, for example, how to effectively localize a content for global success. So join us to uncover the strategies that can help your business get to the next level on your domestic market or globally. Today, I am excited to welcome Mr. Jan Löwhagen from a company MAN Truck and Bus Slovenia. He is a managing director and he has over 30 years of experience in automotive industry and other industries. And Jan has led global sales operations, and he is specialized in lean manufacturing and product development, and he is passionate about innovative and sustainable solutions and fostering a diverse culture. Fun fact, me and Jan met in Munich in Germany this year, and we cheered for Slovenian national football team at the Euro 2024. So Jan, welcome.
Thank you very much, Gregor.
Thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you here. And how was it in Munich? Was it?
It was great. It was great. No, we had a great time, of course, and of course the game against Serbia until the very last second. It was great to be on the Slovenian side, but still, I think they did a really good championship. So
it is almost the end of August, so I guess you had some break in these days, or you were working all the time?
I had a few days, but I've saved some vacation until the end of this year. So we normally do that, and so I've been working when other people have been on vacation. But sometimes it's good to catch up with stuff as well when you don't have too many things going on in the office. So no, it's been a good day, good days off, and but I'm looking forward to have a longer vacation end of this year.
Great. So you feel okay? Everything okay? You have water here?
I am fine. Yeah, of course. It's great.
To have a good conversation.
Yeah, sure.
An hour or so. So we'll cover some topics. For example, we'll talk about a little bit about international business and leadership and running business all over the world, different cultures, different people, languages, and so forth. So first of all, before we dive in, could you, in your own words, describe MAN Truck and Bus operation Slovenia and globally?
Sure. Maybe start to talk about it globally because it's a very old company. So MAN stands for Maschinenfabrik Augsburg Nürnberg, and it's good you said MAN, and here man is the normal what people say, but it's MAN. Yeah, so it's a long history, 250 years old when you look from the very beginning, with a headquarter in Munich. About 35,000 employees worldwide. So it's a big group. And turnover last year around 15 billion euros. So it was a record year for us. And so we have in our portfolio, we have trucks, buses and vans, and also engine. Engine is a big business for us as well. And we sold some 107,000 units last year. So a good number for us. This year is a little bit lower, and I think we all feel that it's slowing down a little bit. So we belong to the Traton Group, which is our holding company. Traton is then reporting directly to the boards of directors at Volkswagen Group. And within Traton, we also have our sisters, Scania, here also in the European market, but also globally, and Navistar in the US and primarily in the South American market, so North America and South America. And also Volkswagen commercial vehicles in South America, but also operating in Africa. So we belong to a group, and a really big group. If you look at Volkswagen with over 700,000 employees, so it's in these times it's good also to have, so to say, this behind you when things are a little bit shaky.
Mm-hmm. When I was preparing, I actually was looking a bit deeper. What Porsche has to do with the group?
So Porsche is also part of the Volkswagen Group. So we all actually work very close together with Porsche Financing here in the Slovenian market. So maybe a few words to MAN Truck and Bus in Slovenia. We're a small operation, so we are responsible for sales and service here in the market. But we're strong. We are market leader in trucks. We are market leader in buses and vans, the smaller vehicles. We are still, so to say, in the beginning, and it's a rather new product for us in the group, but it's a great product. So right now, I'm very proud of the performance, even though the market is a little bit shaky, being the market leader in the most important segments, truck and buses. So I think we have a good position here in the market, long tradition. We are celebrating 30 years this year as MAN here in the Slovenian market. Strong cooperation with our customers. And it's interesting when you look at the Slovenian, our customers here in Slovenia, most companies, transport companies, were started in 91. So it's now time for a kind of a change in the generation. The younger kids, so to say, are no longer kids. The daughters and sons are coming up in the leading positions in these companies, which will also be a challenge for us because we are, so to say, have grown up together with these startups, so to say, 91, where the father bought one truck, he was driving, he's doing service, everything. And there's been a really strong relation with these companies. And now we, of course, need to continue this with the second generation. Mm-hmm. And I think this is something that will give us opportunities, but also challenges.
Can you maybe tell us a bit more about these challenges?
Yeah, I think that, if you start up a company and you have a brand that has been with you and as a partner all the time, and we have, so to say, been partners in good and bad times, that's also something that I also have as my philosophy. You always need to be there in good and bad times because partnership is both ways, mm-hmm. and you need to support each other. And I think this strong partnership that we have been building together with these companies starting in 91, with the second generation, I think that we look at the business in a different way. A lot of our companies or customers today are doing their own service. That was traditional here in Slovenia. And I think that we will see a different approach in the future where the second generation will maybe look at the business as a business and not maybe want to sort of say be so hooked up with the hardware, the equipment. The equipment should run, and of course, this is also something that is important for us. Uptime is key. I always say our customers only make money when the wheels are rolling, mm-hmm. and that's true. A truck that is standing still, a bus that is standing still, costs money. It has to be rolling. That's when they make money.
I see. And talking about these challenges, mm-hmm. I wonder, because sustainability, it seems that plays a huge role in your strategy.
Sure.
How you see this now and in the future?
I mean, for Traton as a group and Volkswagen, of course, sustainability is a key strategy in the future, and started already years ago, of course. And we look at MAN now, we are starting up a serial production of electrical trucks right now after vacation here. On the bus side, we are already now number one for electric buses in Europe. And we have been selling the first MAN buses into the Slovenian market in the last 2 years to the city of Kran, who has 8 electric buses today. And I think this is we can see it on the car side as well. I think there was a hype a couple of years ago. We also went on this hype last year or 2 years ago when I joined the company here in Slovenia. We decided to change all our company cars from diesel to electric vehicles. And the sales guys were not so happy about it, charging and everything. But now everyone says this was a good decision, Jan, because we learn how it is to drive with electric vehicle. And this is something that our customers will experience as well. So I think it is by experience, I like it. I mean, I wouldn't change my electric car to diesel back again, but you have to plan differently, and this is what our customers need to do as well. So I think when you ask how will what will this look like in the next coming years, we have a target, not just a target. It's a regulation by 2030. We as a company, we have to deliver 50% CO2 neutral vehicles. Otherwise, we will face penalties. So we don't have a choice. But I think that we are probably, and not only we, all manufacturers, I would say all the competitors as well, we will be ready with our vehicles. But we also need infrastructure, and I think here we will face issues. I mean, I was driving through Germany this week, and of course over the weekend you don't have the trucks on the highway, just the ones that are allowed to drive, but you see all the trucks parked on the truck stops. And when all these trucks are going to charge their batteries in the future, they need mega chargers. It's a lot of capacity that you need in the grid as well. And I would say if you live close to a truck stop in Germany, Friday afternoon when all the trucks are stopping, you better cook your dinner before 6 o'clock. Television will be no go over the weekend. No, just kidding. But I think the step into electrification is a big step, and not just for us as a manufacturer. It's also for the countries to set up the charging infrastructure. And I think we will see a mix of electrification and hydrogen. So we are actually now starting a smaller series of hydrogen trucks as well. So we will build a number of hydrogen trucks to be put in certain markets, just to gain experience here as well. So I think we will see a mix here. But I mean, we always say we as a company, we are a part of the problem. The diesel engine is today extremely clean. I mean, with all the steps we have taken from Euro 3 to Euro 4 to Euro 5, Euro 6, and all the different steps within Euro 6 emission laws as well, I would say in most cities today, we are probably air cleaners with our trucks. But still, the emission that we are causing, we are a part of the problem, and we need to make sure that we solve this. And for future generations, I think it's extremely important. So we have taken this responsibility, and we will continue to take it within the company, and with the support, of course, from Traton and the Volkswagen Group as well. But the legislation forces us, but here, of course, deciding in Brussels is one thing, but it needs to follow with the execution of what I said here with infrastructure and everything. So I think it's the right thing we do. And in addition to what I said here with the electric company cars, we also invested in photovoltaic. So we are able now to charge our cars with green energy. We invested in heat pump systems so we can cool and heat our facilities in a more efficient way. So we have taken steps here in Slovenia to sort of say follow, and I think this is great, Slovenia Green. I have my button on today as well, and I think this is something that it's really good. I like it.
I'm very pleased to hear that you are a role model for other companies, that you you take that responsibility, as you said. And going further, I would, because I know that you are originally from Sweden,
Right.
and that you were working in the States and in Germany as well, and now you're in Slovenia, and that's kind of fascinating, at least for me, and I hope for our viewers. And could you take us on a bit back in the past and how you to hear a bit about your background and how you became a managing director of MAN?
So as you said, I grew up in Sweden in a small town, Hallsberg, very small town, 15,000 people. It's about 2.5 hours southwest of Stockholm. But it was a great place to grow up in. I actually, I told you the other day here, I had some friends visiting me a couple of weeks ago, and 3 of them were friends from the first grade in school, and some of them I hadn't seen for 30 years. And this is also something that I think when you grow up in a small community, you have these strong relationships with your people that you grew up with. And it's amazing that you still, after so many years, and after just a few minutes when you meet again, it's like in the past. So, no, I grew up in a small town. Of course, sports was a big thing, playing football in the summer and ice hockey in the winter. And I also took the opportunity, which some of my other friends as well did, to do an exchange year. So I started to gain this kind of experience to be abroad. So when I was 17, I went 1 year to the US and did 1 year in high school, which was also a great experience to come abroad and get out of the small town in Sweden, so to say. Then I went to university in Lund, in the southern part of Sweden, and finalized my master degree in mechanical engineering, which also was, so to say, something to have in your pocket when you want to join an international company. So my first job was with a Swedish company, Atlas Copco Mining and Construction, a very global company. I would say maybe 20% of the people work in Sweden, the rest is worldwide. And I went into a trainee program where I had a chance really to go into different areas, different departments. And one part of this was, or the program was also to do a project abroad. So I had a broken German at that time. I had taken German in school, but I needed to improve. As I said, it would be great to come to Germany. And there was a plant in Bremen that also was looking for someone to run a project there within production. So I got an opportunity to move there after my first 2 years in Sweden. And that's also where kind of my personal life maybe took a new change. I met my wife, Annette, in Germany. She's German. And we built our first house, or bought our first house, and kind of created a family. Our kids were born in Germany, or in Bremen as well. So still, Bremen is a city in Germany where a lot of things happen. And I'm still a fan of Werder Bremen, one of the underdogs in the German Bundesliga. So,
okay.
But so I spent another 5 years with this company in Bremen, and then the company decided to consolidate their businesses and move back this operation from Germany to Sweden. And then I got an opportunity through a headhunter to pick up a position in Hamburg with a completely different industry within textile machinery, responsible for the global after-market sales of after-sales products. And this was also interesting because, again, a new business, a new sort of say customer structure, but also with a sort of say global perspective, and of course, textile industry is also a very old industry in Germany, but also here with a kind of a weakening trend over the last couple of years. A lot of the industry was moved out to Asia and also Turkey. So after 3 years being responsible for the operation at this company, they actually started to move out a lot of operations. So I felt it was time to look for something else. And I got an opportunity to start with a family company within agriculture equipment. We're also a different business, but responsible for global procurement and logistic. And also this was a new experience to go from these global companies where you have a very, so to say, I would say solid structure and you know, with all the levels in the organization, to a private company, family-owned company, which was interesting, but also challenging, because you never knew what the family had decided on the Sunday afternoon coffee when you came to the company Monday morning. No, just kidding. But it was a dynamic company, but they're very, very successful. So I actually spent 7 years with them as well. And we did a lot of changes. And I think what they needed there was also someone who came in from outside with more experience from international businesses and understanding that the business is not just local, especially the supply base, which was very, very local for this company. Now we were able to sort of say expand and also improve a lot of the processes and be more, sort of say, lean in the whole operation. And how things sometimes come, I called my old boss from Atlas Copco to have a chat with him, and he was now with Volvo Trucks at the time. And I was kind of looking at maybe a position in Sweden again, because maybe going back and try to be back in the home country, and the family was not against it either. But he said, well, we need you in Germany. We are moving from Frankfurt to Munich. We're setting up a new organization in Munich for the Central European organization, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So I got a chance to start up, sort of say, new organization in this setup for responsible for product management, logistic, and pricing at Volvo Trucks. Competitor, of course, today, but it was, so to say, a nice step into the commercial vehicle industry. And spent another 7 years with the company there. Seems like 7 years is my turnaround.
Magic number.
And then was asked to move over to North America, Volvo Trucks North America, and run their commercial operation as a vice president for US, Canada, and Mexico. And of course, this was 2012. So the kids were teenagers, and of course, a lot of friends said, "Guys, what do you do with your kids, moving them from Germany now when they're teenagers and everything?" But you know, as a family, if you're strong as a family, you know you will manage it, and I think this is important. I think when people ask me about this, or when I can advise people, I said kids will not be the problem. I think it's more. You should make sure that your wife is happy, and yeah, but you know, that they have a possibility to also be integrated, maybe continue to work with what they work today and everything. So, but of course, at the beginning, it was certainly tough for our kids as well. But I think as a family, it's this is something that makes you grow. And to me, joining an organization in North America was really interesting, and it's such a big difference between the three countries as well: the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Where U.S. is U.S. I mean, it's the American way, and we believe in the U.S. Where the Mexicans are more European thinking. I mean, they're more Latin. And then, of course, you have the Canadians, which are also more European thinking. So it was always interesting when we had the meetings together here to kind of see the difference between the mentalities. But I must say, to me, it was a really good experience to be able to pick up this position. And as a vice president, I had a rather big organization and also big responsibility, but we were able to really move a lot of things in the right direction. And we were, I must say, extremely successful with introductions of new vehicle say releases, because of course you don't release a complete new vehicle, but there were updates of the vehicles, and we had a really good success here with what we did. And I think the company as such is of course important when you move abroad. You need to have, sort of say, a backbone from headquarters and a strong support as well. But the organization was also very mature. We had a good mix of people. We had a good mix of people from Brazil. Volvo Trucks has a big operation in Brazil as well. We had a lot of people from Renault, which is also a Volvo Group company, French people, Swedish people, American people. And also this was something that also, sort of say, was, I think, good for the organization. A lot of people from India, especially within IT. And this mixture of people in the organization was refreshing. And we lived in Greensboro, North Carolina, which is an area where you have a lot of black people as well. So even in the school, you had a 50-50. At work, a lot of, and also here, I think a European company see this as an advantage as well, to have this diversity in the organization. And to me, it was was really good to be able to get this experience during these years, and also understand the country in a better way. And as I said, family picked up very well. My wife started to be a realtor selling real estate. So really? We liked it. We stayed 7 years in the US, and yeah, we
7 is it?
Seven is yeah, that's true.
That's actually, I want to pick up on that last thing you said. So you actually were working with so many nationalities, so many different backgrounds, people, different profiles. I was wondering how this international experience, how that shaped your approach to management.
I think what it does, I think it's always important to you should show respect, and I think diversity is extremely important, because I think when people have different opinions, that's where you sort of say are moving things forward. If everyone has the same opinion, I mean, you will get the status quo and nothing will happen. And I think it's with these diversity that we had, and also the backgrounds, different backgrounds, I think it gives you a lot of dynamic in the organization. But what I think is important, I always say, you have to walk the talk. I mean, you have to lead by example, and because as a manager, people are looking at you, what you are doing, and that's important as well. But to me, empower people is important. I mean, there is a saying in Germany that trust is good, but control is better. I always turn it around. I say control is better, control is good, but trust is much better. Okay. I mean, if you don't trust your people, if you don't empower your people, and you believe you should take all the decisions yourself and then be involved, you will be the bottleneck at the end of the day. And this is not how an organization can work today. I don't think that young people today want to work in an organization where they're not empowered. They want to take decisions. But of course, you have to, as I said, be there to support and coach. But I think being too much in detail and be involved in everything, it's not possible. It's the same here. I think I need to trust people, and I do trust people. If you see that you need to support and help, you have to do it. But I think it's sometimes I think it's more important to listen than to talk. I say, if you can't listen to people, have time to listen to what people tell you, then you have a problem as well. So I think this is also something that we need to learn. Sometimes I kind of see myself, I'm not listening enough to what people tell me. But that's also something that I have learned over time to, respect, understand, and also consider opinions that you think are a little bit crazy to begin with. But maybe when you think it over, maybe there is a point to what people say to you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's really interesting. So to sum up, you have to trust people, empower the people, and it doesn't really matter where people are from, as long as you respect the differences. So that dynamic actually is one of the key elements in management. So,
but I think what's important as well, of course, when I just take the example from the US, you don't talk about politics when you are in a different country. You're a guest in a country. You don't talk about the how they see the weapon laws and those kind of things, or gun laws. I mean, it's things that are local in a country. As a guest, you should respect it, even if you have a different opinion. I think that's also important. So I think same thing when I come here to Slovenia. I'm a guest here, but I must say I like most of the things here in Slovenia, so I don't have much to complain about.
Okay, I see. Yeah. And what are the key differences in this business culture? You said that you started before with comparing states with Canada and Latin or Mexican. How do you when you observe these countries, how you worked with these differences?
Yeah, I think
one, you say it's okay, you have to respect, you're a guest.
Yeah, I think if you compare those three countries, I think you maybe
comparing to Germany.
Comparing to Germany, yeah,
and Slovenia.
Yeah, it's interesting when you live in the US and when you meet people from Europe. Doesn't matter which country the person is from in Europe, you can feel we think very very alike, same way. Yeah, Europeans are. I think we are raised in a different way. I'm not judging that it's wrong from the US, but we think in a similar way. Mm-hmm. And I think that and as I said, I went one year to high school when I was 17 in the US, and also there I remember one time I did a presentation of Sweden and how Sweden was, what kind of country and how it was run, and the teacher said afterwards, guys, it sounds very good when you listen to it here, but watch out, these European countries, they're very close to Russia, so be careful. This was in the 80s. Uh-huh. So there is a different view of things in countries, and the US, I think, has a different view of things. But also this you have to respect, and it's important that you take this into consideration. And always, when you come to a country, you're a guest, and you need to respect this.
I see. And in your opinion, how important is for the companies to adapt to local cultures and languages? You were in so many countries, so you have this first-hand experience. How important is to know the culture, the language?
I think it's extremely important. I think it's when someone is entering a new country or a new market, I think you should learn, and if there are any classes you can take, to get more familiar with the culture, I think that is important, because it's I think you can hurt people a lot if you're not careful. And I think you, as I said again, respectful to people, and I think you should take time to understand the culture. It could be religious differences as well. And I think all these things are important to take into consideration. And I think it's important to also have local people. When you start an operation somewhere, you should have local people in your organization who can help you here as well. Mm-hmm. Because I think if you just think you can go ahead as you do in your home country, I think you do a big mistake. You have to respect And there could be also legal things you need to, if you look at the products and everything, but also from a behavior point of view, I think it's really important to do. Language-wise, I'm trying to learn Slovene, but you can see we cannot do it in Slovene today, and probably not tomorrow either. It's a difficult language.
2 years.
Yes, still. I
And
start
Slovene is quite
to
hard.
understand a little bit more,
yeah.
so be careful.
But you understand.
A little bit more, yeah.
If you know the context, probably.
Yeah. But language-wise, I think it's also something that was, I always say, if you come to a new country, you should at least try to learn the language as well. And I think it shows respect, and I think this is very important. But again, your question, take time and get familiar with these differences in the country. And also, of course, the legal things, if it's somewhere outside of the EU, where you might have completely different regulations, you also need to be very careful in respect of products and so that everything is, so to say, clarified. But here, I mean, there are expertise to get to help you out here as well.
Yes. And comparing again these countries, do you think this is the same for every market when entering, for example? Now you can compare Sweden, States. Again, you go probably.
Yeah.
Again, we go back that Europeans are kind of almost the same.
I mean we're homogeneous today. Yeah, of course.
To the
States,
it's true.
Yeah, of course. In the States, you have different. I mean, if you come to take our products, emission laws are different in the States, even though the European emission laws for commercial vehicles are very similar to the US, but still it's a difference. So you cannot take a vehicle from the European market and just introduce it to the North American market. It has to be adapted. The engines need to be adapted, and also, if you look at the type of, if you take the trucks, the type of trucks are different in the North American market as well. But also here, this adoption is important, and I think it's you should reserve enough time to do the researches and also get expertise before you enter a new market. I think that's extremely important.
Yeah, actually, I visited the web pages of Porsche, Volkswagen, also. I mean, and I saw that like you have this consistency. You have this German language and English language, but I must say I don't know. Probably you don't know that because I'm from my industry, from the translation localization industry. I know that automotive is a huge industry, and we do a lot of localization. And I was wondering what your approach to localization in marketing, communication strategies when you're entering new market. I'm not sure if you're the right person because I don't know if you get that info, but still I'm eager to know how much you know about that.
Yeah, I think when it comes to marketing, I think it's also very important because how you market products and what kind of language you use, words you use. It could be, the wrong words used in a country without, that you understand what you communicate. So I think this is also very important. I think that's where also you should, take advices, have local expertise to help you here. And I think it's with marketing, of course. If you take MAN as a corporation, of course, we have our standards, we have our compliance. There is a sort of say structure. So it's not that we can adapt to each and every market. It's like I say, if you come into an MAN workshop, it should be like you come into an Apple store or a McDonald's. You should feel this is MAN. This is important to me as well, because then you feel, okay, there is a corporate standard behind the organization. And also in marketing communication, there should be a standard. It's I think if you see commercial from Apple or Google, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can feel this. It doesn't matter which language. It's it's the same message, and also from how they approach the customers. And this is also, I think, very important because we have a lot of international customers. If you take our customers here in Slovenia, 80% of our customers are doing transport all over Europe. So when I say we are the market leader in Slovenia, and you count the MAN trucks on the highway, we'll say this is not true, Jan. But if you count them all over Europe, you will see we have a lot of MAN with Slovenian number plates. So no, but it's as I say, I think this stay consistent with the message, and of course we don't do any communication or anything without having the approval from headquarters here in Slovenia as well, because we're a corporation. We need to stay within our standards, and it has to be, so to say, also the same message. We need to be careful with our branding because the branding means a lot, and I think the branding doesn't matter which company it is, but it's extremely important today because it sends a message as well.
Yeah, like if I look far back, it was always, I think, very, very important in the automotive industry how you like the message that goes out, the communication, through advertising. It is you get that feeling how important every detail actually is. So that's why I think it's even more important that you said that you get to know the culture very well and the language very well, and especially when you enter the market. Yeah. So do you have any example of that kind of successful market entry strategy to local, and so that you adapt to local market in your business operation? So from what I hear, there has to be this consistency, but then you have to adapt to each locale to get the same message through. So you, from what I hear, and if I understand correctly, there is a policy how you do that. So, for example, in Slovenia, if you decide something to communicate, you have to get the approval from Triton or
from MAN in headquarters. Yeah. So we no, I mean, if we want to do some campaign or something, we of course we need to have an alignment also, so that we are not communicating something that is not aligned with the branding.
So
but a lot of
I'm trying to understand. So the marketing here is communicating with the headquarters,
right?
And they have to be synced.
Yeah, so we are
the communications.
Right. No, and this is also to take care of the brand, because the brand is very, very important. I think it's sometimes we underestimate the brand, and also within, you said, automotive, the brand is very important. But I think it maybe for cars get less and less important in the future. I have the feeling young people don't really care about the brand. It's I need a small car and that's okay, which is good. But still, I think within our business, as I said here in the beginning, this strong partnership is important. And of course, you don't just build it with a fancy brand. It's there is much more to the brand. The brand is to stand up to the brand, be there when
have to deliver then.
We have to deliver, and in good and bad times. And this is also something that is important. But I think MAN is if I may say, it's a kind of a down-to-earth brand. And we try to be very close to the customers. I love to be out and meet customers. I mean, it's great people, because they always tell you what they think, and this I like. It's if there is a problem, you will get to know it. And but this is also the relation we want to have, and I think this is also what we stand for. The MAN, we are there to be a partner, and we need to be on the, sort of say, same level as our customers, understand what we have to do, what we can do better. Because at the end of the day, as I said, uptime, only when the wheels are rolling, is when our customers are making money. And having this in mind and be there to help our customers, that's also what we stand for as a brand. And this is also something I think that, in your communication, it has to be there somewhere as well, this partnership and being there for you, even in times where it gets tougher. And right now, when the market is tougher, our customers having a tough time as well, because, we know that business is slowing down in many segments where our customers are operating in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
this relationship has to be even stronger, I guess.
It has to be stronger, and I would say it's like in a marriage. You have good and bad times.
Yeah.
And
good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's partly actually answered my question regarding this global consistency with the needs for local adaptation in your operations. And do you have any example of any big mistakes? You mentioned one that it would be a big mistake to be like naive, if you will, just to enter a market and, say I'm from Germany, I'll do the same.
Yeah.
I'll do my business management, everything will be the same in Slovenia or and in other country. Would you agree about that?
Yeah, I think you have to be careful when you enter the market. I think you can do, and also with communication, you can do mistakes if you're not careful. But I think there's a lot of examples in the industry where you have not considered how a market is if it's a major enough to accept your products. Mm-hmm. Now, within the European community, I would say all the markets are on a pretty equal level, and I would say that the products that we have today, it's all the same. I think the requirements that we see in the different European markets are also on the same level. Mm-hmm. If you then take examples, I haven't been in the African markets, but of course there you have a different need and demand, but still equipment need to be running there as well. But you don't have the same legislations, you don't have the same emission laws as well. Oh. But I think. When we talk about this with mistakes, I think again you need to do a research. You need to understand also the customer base in the market that you're entering, and also do an analyze about your competitors and understand, sort of say where do they have the weaknesses? Where can we sort of say with our products get in and close that gap? That competitors or already existing companies in the market haven't closed yet, and I think that is important as well.
So we have to understand, but to be able to understand, you have to communicate and communicate well. Can you tell me a bit about this journey to Slovenia? So, and regarding that research and everything, is this something that you're doing on your own? You have your team. How this works?
So, as I said, we celebrate 30 years in Slovenia now. So, I have a very experienced team here in Slovenia, and very proud of my team. They know the market very well. They know the customers very well. So it was pretty easy to come here and join. We were on a good level when I came here as well. So, but you cannot sort of say rely on the past. You need to continue to just work on stuff, and you need to continue to visit customers, even if they are not planning to purchase something. You need to be there and just listen to them and understand, how is the situation, how is your business, and coming back to what I said before, listen to people. And I think this is it's extremely important. If you only visit customers when they want to sign an order, it's wrong. You need to be there and show that you care and listen, and if there is something we can do in the meantime for them as well. So I think when I came here, it was it was not that difficult because our kids are grown up, so we didn't have to take care of the schools and everything. We could, pick and choose where we wanted to live, and it's more say similar to the culture, the German culture, I would say as well. I mean, I think
we have some of the German, I think, on something.
No, it's true, and I must say I really appreciate how open people are here in Slovenia, and also my organization. It was very easy to get into the different tasks here. People were supportive, and also customers were very open and help you to get into the topics that they have to deal with and their concerns. So I think it's to me it's been an easy journey so far, the first 2 years here. And I mean, Slovenia, lovely country, Ljubljana, a beautiful city. So I don't know if you complain, you complain on a very, very high level. No, we really like it here. But
I hope you will stay until the end of your
so. But I think it's the move from Munich to Ljubljana was or Slovenia was not that difficult because
what about the States? Sorry.
Yeah, it was
because there's
it was a bigger challenge.
There was a bigger shift.
It is. It's a different. You have different customers. I mean, we had some customers there. They are running an operation with 200,000 vehicles. So I mean, it's a huge difference when you look at the market and the size of these customers. But also, as I said, the mentality is different. Although, I mean, I like the people a lot in the US, but there is a difference between how we think Europeans and Americans and
what would you say the bigger difference?
It's
being
no, but
offensive to
I'm not. No, we had a great time there. So I mean, we said moving back after 7 years was great because we could say 7 great
just
years.
To better understand. Yeah,
I would say sometimes it's hard to look behind the back of the head by the Americans because you. I don't want to go into politics now, but we were there when Trump won the election.
Okay.
And it wasn't. If I would have been able to vote, I would not have voted for Mr. Trump. Definitely not. But a lot of colleagues that I had that you saw as on the same level from the thinking and values and everything, you realize no, they that actually voted for Mr. Trump. And this is, a little bit of where we Europeans don't understand why we have this situation that we have in the US today. I mean, it's very divided, which is not good for the country, but where you have the two extremes. And I think where the Americans are still seeking for this, the America
being the best.
And I think it's something that we sometimes don't really understand as Europeans. But I think the further you get out on the countryside as well, you have this in there is still this in their blood that America first, and that's the way they think. And I mean, if you look at the people who settled in the US, I mean, these people were adventurous. I mean, they it was a big risk to take the boat over to a new continent, and they didn't really know what was waiting. I think this is still in the genes of the Americans, because it's people who really dare to do something outside of the box, so to say, at that time. And of course, there are many generations since, but I still have the feeling this is still in the genes of many of the Americans. And I think this is the proud being an American is very, very strong in the US.
So it all comes down to values, I guess. And
yeah, but I think, it's I would say the Americans have very strong values as well. I mean, it's church is extremely important in the US. I mean, they care a lot. I must say, if you see how people are, what they're doing for families, if someone gets sick in the family, neighbors come and help you, and these kind of things where the community is very, very strong there. They support each other. So I think there is a very strong passion to care for each other in the US, and so it's just different maybe to how we look at things in Europe in many times. Nice. But that's what I say. Yeah. You have to, it's not right or wrong. It's just somewhat different mentality sometimes.
It's crucial that we understand. So
it is, and
I think that's the first step.
And also, as I said, respect.
Yeah, respect.
And also, I always say, when you work in a different country, remember you're a guest, and respect how people live and how they think in this country, and don't try to change them, because you won't be able to.
Maybe just last one question, then I'll let you, because I know it's not an easy one, but still. So you were at the States, you were a manager, and there were several people, and as you said, for now I'm thinking out loud. So you as a group, you want sustainability, and then Trump comes and he actually doesn't care about that part. So and then there is a clash in the company, inside of people. How you cope with that and move forward? What's like in reality how that looks, in a daily business.
I wouldn't say that the election was a change in our way of doing business or any way. I mean, it's just I just wanted to kind of point out how, so to say, divided the country got after this election. I think we see it already today, and with the so to say, but it also shows that you have this strong mentality within the American community, the America First, which I think is also something that is important to understand. Although you have a lot of immigration, I mean, you have a multicultural in the US, which I think is also something that we can learn from in Europe, because I think they have been able to integrate all these different people from different parts of the world, because the America is really a multicultural population and community, and also here, of course, they have the problems, but still, I think this acceptance of immigration is somewhat different in the US than we experience here in Europe.
I see. I don't want to, as you said, let's not dive into politics.
No.
I just want to understand from the perspective of business. So you're saying that, you have your values in M&A, and you're sticking to that, but then you have to adapt, in a way, like internally and externally, probably, because you also have to understand at least a part of your clients and how they think. So thank you for that insight. And I was wondering also how you keep yourself informed about the latest trends and developments on those markets, and where your companies operate.
Yeah, I mean, you need to all the channels that you have today. I mean, the internet and whatever, podcast.
Yeah, podcast. Yeah.
And also utilize.
It's a new way. Yeah.
No, but it's. I think it's important to. You should never stop to learn, and I think it also to understand the new trends. And one thing that I did with a company I was with before, we did some reverse mentoring, which was really interesting as well, where I was mentored by a young girl. Oh. And this is something that is really interesting, because when you sort of say get mentored by someone from a different generation, okay, they have different perspectives. But this is also something I think we need to really be aware of in an organization, and how important it is to have this integration. Because I mean, in a couple of years, I will, well, I will stay some more years, but when my generation is so to say going into retirement, and then the younger generation is coming in, we need to have a continuity, but we also need to understand how we integrate young people. And I think this is extremely important. I think with the changes that we have today, we're talking about information and the information flow. We need to understand how we can do this in the best possible way. And we it's very, I think, dangerous to ignore these sometimes crazy ideas from young people, because we will see that these are the things that will come, and we need to be aware of it. So I think it's the mix of different generations in a company is extremely important, and also maybe through mentoring is a good way, because then you get the opportunity for younger people to let them talk to the older, more experienced people, but also have an exchange here. And I think it's a good way. I liked it. I learned a lot. And
first time I hear this, and I find it very interesting. I mean, how this works actually? So the girl is from the company.
Yeah. So she was mentoring. I was the one listening to her with her opinions and how I could do things differently, which was interesting. And of course you need to be brave enough to, when you're young in an organization, to tell an older manager that these things could be done differently. But as I said before, listen is more important to just talk.
Yes, correct. I'm sure I can relate to that as well. Also, looking a bit about in the future, how your company remains agile and adaptable to this rapidly changing global market. Everything is changing all the time. And even in my company, it's very small. Yeah. I see that this is the only thing that stays. The change every day, something changes. So how you manage it, because you're a huge company?
I think it's important to get the right people on board, and this will be a challenge in the future, because a lot of companies are now in a transition into new technologies. But I see here within MAN now in our industry that we are more attractive than we maybe were a couple of years ago, because now with electrification and sustainability and all these things coming in, our vehicles, for example, are connected. We can read everything, what's happening in a vehicle. I can go in and check what the status of the driveline in each and every vehicle here in the market. We do updates, software updates over the air. So all these steps that are coming now, the whole industry is going through a big change, and especially now, of course, with electrification and sustainable drive systems. So I think we will be more attractive to get young people on board and talent people on board, which is extremely important for us. Mm-hmm. And especially with a location in Munich, we have a lot of big companies in Munich. We have BMW, of course, as a big employer. We have Siemens there, a lot of tech companies in Munich. And then, you need to be attractive to get those young talents on board, and also keep them so that you can get them into the processes, the changes, and have a continuity here as well. Because I think that young people are more movable, so you need to stay attractive, and also with this, what I said, mentoring. I think it's a good way. Let these people tell you what they think, because then they will be more integrated, and you will get a lot of benefit from it as well, because you will get input from them that you maybe not able to get from whatever medias that you can look for in the internet or wherever. I think it's so this integration is extremely important to stay agile, but of course all the developments that we do today, we have in many cases the Volkswagen Group with us as well. So there's a lot of consolidation going on right now as well, where a lot of these new systems, and especially within the digitalization, connected vehicle, we utilize, of course, the capacity and the knowledge from the Volkswagen Group, which is extremely important for us as well.
Okay, so if you wrap it up and summarize, what kind of advice would you give to a business leader who wants to enter a new market? Actually,
I would say
we have some, I think, in the whole podcast, but we can sum up some of the most important ones.
Don't be afraid to do it. I mean, it's a great experience to do, and I think if you dare to do it, I think you will find success. But as I said, take your time, get advices from experienced people in the market, and get also local people on board, so that you sort of say are connected with the market, and language-wise, maybe depending on which market it is. But I think it's also very important. Here in Slovenia, English or German is not a problem, but there are other markets where, language-wise, it's important as well to have local people on board. So I think it's you should do the research, take your time. But I can just encourage people to, if you have a chance to go abroad and work abroad, you should do it, because it gives you a lot of benefits, and you grow as a person. And I think it's experience how other markets are working, meet different people, different cultures. It's a great experience, and it gives you a lot back.
It's wealth, I would say.
It is, but it's something you cannot sort of say buy for money. You have to experience, and I think this is something that it's really important as well.
Okay. Jan, thank you so much for all your insights, your sharing with us the experience from different markets. I hope this will bring some value to the subscribers, to all the listeners. I wish you all the best, and hopefully we will see each other here often in Slovenia, and I hope you will stay in Slovenia for as long as you can.
Okay, thank you, Gregor. Maybe the next time at the European Championship.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oh.